new shot. He's in the shot now. He's so cute. Hi guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. I had to refilm this whole thing because I was out of focus and it was focusing on the dog. So, I changed my outfit. I'm more comfortable. My hair's up. I've got a doctor's appointment in 1 hour. Let's get this done. Today we're going to be talking about country hits that were popular at milestones in my life. So let's jump right in. If you like country music content, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to get notifications about when I post next, because this is a new channel. I want to post regularly, so it would be awesome if I had a regular audience that subscribes. I love the engagement, so if you could hit the like button or even the dislike button, I'm all about the conversation. That would be awesome. It tells me what you guys like, what you don't like, and what content you want to see. And in the comments below, I want to know what is the song that was #1 the year you were born. Leave that in the comments below so we can all check it out. I picked these years specifically because they have meaning in my life. We're gonna start with 1998, which is the year that I was born into the world, which may be a curse or may be a blessing. Only time will tell. In 2010, I was 12. I was going into middle school and I had some serious dental issues. I'd show you a picture, but I burned them all. In 2016, I graduated from high school and I was ready to go off to college, ready to experience the real world. And in 2019, I was getting ready to graduate from college. And I ended up graduating. But now I'm in a world where things are weird. In 1998, when I was born, stadium country had been afoot for a long time. Stadium country was the thing. Thank you, Garth Brooks and Shania Twain, for that stadium country. Some people like it, some people don't. I tend to like it, but that's my opinion. Let's see what was top 5 at the end of the year charts of 1998. #1, Just to See You Smile by Tim McGraw.
Just to see you smile, I'd do anything.
Tim McGraw has seen a lot of success over the last few years. He was really popular in the 90s and he's still seen today. And I think that his style is a lot of fun and a lot of like humbling, like soft ballads. And I think that has progressed throughout his career. But this one is just, you know, a 90s country song and I really like it. #2 on this list is Bye Bye by Joe D. Messina. Editing Sara, I know I said Jody Messina really weird, so I apologize. I did not realize that it was Jody and not Jody. Jody Messina is someone that I knew of but never really listened to until I had to listen to all these songs for this video, and I really like her. And I feel like I've been sleeping on someone who's been really awesome from the 90s. And so Bye Bye was really good. And I very much enjoyed everything that came along with it. #3 on this list is This Kiss by Faith Hill.
Impossible, this kiss.
Faith Hill, Tim McGraw, the power couple of country. Who would have ever thought they'd be on the same list? Well, I did. I think they're great. Faith Hill is not someone that I listen to regularly, but I know that she is a 90s staple along with her husband, Tim McGraw. #4 on this list is another hit from Joe D. Messina, I'm Alright.
I'm alright. It's a beautiful day, not a cloud in sight. So
I'm Alright was a surprise on this list. Like I said, I had never really listened to any of her music or gotten into her, but this song is going straight onto my favorites playlist that I have on Spotify, which I'll link down below and in the card. 5th on this list is There's Your Trouble by the Chicks, also known as the Dixie Chicks. I haven't really been a fan of the Chicks because I'm not too familiar with their repertoire and I haven't had really a reason to go digging back into it. I know they're singles, I know they're really big hits, but I think I should do a deep dive into some older Chicks material. If you guys want to see that, leave that down in the comments below or give this video a like. That way, I don't know. Some characteristics of 90s music is reflected well in this 1998 list. You've got the fiddle, you got the pedal steel, you got the banjo. That's the trifecta right there. Add the acoustic guitar for core country feel, and you've got yourself a country song. The vocals of 90s music was distinctly country sounding. It had the country drawl, that yodely sound that country singers have that I love so much. The tight harmonies are a prominent factor of 90s music. And the thing that surprised me the most about this list is that it was primarily female. Tim McGraw was the only male that was in the top 5 in 1998, which is crazy considering that the next few lists do not have any females on them. The composition and arrangement of this list specifically is singable, but complex lyrically and rhythmically. You just never know what to expect, but once you hear it, it's really singable and it makes so much sense within the song. The arrangement is well thought out and makes a lot of sense, but it's also complex and has really a lot of layers that make the song super interesting to listen to, which is what I love about 90s country music. Now let's jump into 2010. Middle school, bad hair, bad teeth, bad clothes. But kind of okay country music. The first song on this list was Love Like Crazy by Lee Brice.
And love like crazy.
Now, Lee Brice is not an artist that I would say has wowed me, but he's got a few hits here and there that I really enjoy listening to. He's got a new song out with Carly Pierce that I think is pretty good. I think showcases his voice really well. But this song specifically reminds me of You Found Me by The Fray. You should go listen to those back to back and you'll see what I'm talking about. Second on this list was Rain Is a Good Thing by Luke Bryan.
We take them into town, start washing all our worries down the drain. Rain is a good thing.
This song is a staple these days for me. You know, when I'm feeling sad or it's raining or whatever, I put this song on and my family really enjoys it and I really enjoy it. And so this is just a Pierson household staple. We love this song. Third on this list is Why Don't We Just Dance by Josh Turner.
Crazy. So baby, why don't we just dance?
Josh Turner has one of those voices that makes you melt every time you hear it, and Why Don't We Just Dance is one of those catchy tunes that he sings that really gets you up and moving, and I think makes perfect sense on this list. Next up is All Over Me, again by Josh Turner.
Save all your kisses up, bring on your sweet love, pour it all over me, all over me.
This song surprised me. I don't think I've ever heard this song before until listening to it for this video, but I loved it. This song is definitely going onto my favorites playlist on Spotify, which you can get to, linked down below in the description. Number 5 on this list is The Man I Want to Be by Chris Young.
I'm asking you to come change me into the man I want to be.
Now, if you watched my last video, you know how I feel about Chris Young. I love him, and especially love the earlier albums that he has put out. And The Man I Want to Be is on his second album, which is titled after that song. There are Luke Bryan's, and there are Josh Turner's, and there are Lee Brice's, and then there's a Chris Young. Josh Turner and Chris Young have similar effects on me, but Chris Young has that intimacy in his voice that brings me almost to tears every time I listen to him. And so I think that he's well deserving of a spot on the top 5. However, I do think that the charts are really missing out on some of Chris Young's awesome songs that he's released from albums 1 through 4. Some of the characteristics of the country music from 2010 are really similar to the ones from 1998. However, it focuses more on electric guitars, a bigger drum sound, has a little bit of fiddle, a little bit of pedal steel, and a little bit of banjo mixed on in. It balances it out enough, which I appreciate. I like it. The vocals have the still very distinct country sound that is from the 90s. You can get that twang and that southern drawl and even some of those yodely things and runs that even Chris Young does in his songs, which I love. This list is primarily male, which we will see continues, but at least these songs are really good, and I enjoyed listening to them growing up in middle school. Composition and arrangement wise, All Over Me really stood out. I thought it was the perfect combination of something interesting and something very familiar. And that beginning is kind of just like throws you off a little bit because you're like, what is this? What are we doing? And then the core of the song is familiar and you can sing along and it makes a lot of sense flow-wise. But that interesting intro really brought me and sucked me in, and now it's like gonna be my new listening obsession. A lot of these songs I think are cleverly written. The lyrics are a lot of fun and roll off the tongue in a pleasing manner. So I think that 2010 really nailed it for me. I like 2010 music, I think. It's 2016, I am a high school graduate, and I'm moving to college. Or at least I will be in the fall, and these are the songs that I've probably listened to in the summer. Number 1 on this list is Holy by Florida Georgia Line. Now, Florida Georgia Line started a country revolution. They brought these heavy backbeats and a very pop production to the game, which has changed the way we make country music, for better or for worse. Florida Georgia Line, for people who like them, this song is kind of a change of pace. It's still heavy on the backbeat and it has kind of those overproduced vocal sounds, but you know, if you like pop country, this is pretty okay. The lyrics are kind of bland, but you know, what are you gonna get? It's a pop song that just is pretty generic. Second on this list is Die a Happy Man by Thomas Rhett. This is the start of the transition for Thomas Rhett into what I would call, and what a bunch of people call, boyfriend country. Now, boyfriend country is that kind of smooth, croony pop sound that country singers are into these days. But this song, it's just really cute and has a cute little message. This song is off of his album Tangled Up. This album is highly influenced by pop production, which is, like I said, starting to move into that boyfriend country era for Thomas Rhett. I really liked the song off the next album that came up, which is Marry Me. I thought that twist at the end was really nice, and if you haven't heard it, you should go listen to it because it's really a nice story. Sad story, but it's a nice story, and it's like a nice little twist, and it's like watching a movie. Third on this list is Humble and Kind by Tim McGraw.
I know you got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind.
Tim McGraw had a hit in 1998 and now in 2016. I think Tim McGraw represents a great success story in country music. I think he has been able to sustain his country career and keep continuously getting hits, even as he is introduced to new, younger fans, and I think it stands out that he can connect with younger fans and his older fans. Number 4 on this list is Somewhere on a Beach by Dierks Bentley.
I'm somewhere on a beach, sipping something strong. Got a new girl, she got it going on.
Now, I've never been a fan of Dierks Bentley really that much. I know his hits and I know some of like the most popular songs he's done. What I'm really interested in is the country parody band that he's doing, the Hot Country Nights. I love those songs. I think they're goofy and silly, but they sound so good and are really reminiscent of that 90s country that is supposed to be fun, like Brooks and Dunn, and kind of silly and make you laugh, but also make you sing along. If you haven't heard anything from that group, go check it out. You'll have a laugh, and I think you'll actually really listen to all of the songs multiple times because they're just really good. Last on the 2016 list is Head Over Boots by John Party.
Though my soul is true, I'm head over boots for...
This song is on one of the albums that I have deemed to be perfect country albums, which you can check out in the description below. I have a lot of Spotify playlists that I make all the time, and so you feel free to go look at them. Feel free to go check them out and listen to some of my favorite stuff. But California Sunrise has a ton of awesome songs on it, and this is one of them. I think John Party's commitment to bringing back traditional country music is awesome, and it really brings joy to my heart because I really like his sound. Sometimes that nasally sound isn't for everyone, but I really enjoy it. Another person I enjoy it in is Miranda Lambert. I think she has a very nasally tone, but I think it works for her in the songs that she puts out, so I really enjoy it. Characteristics of country music coming out of 2016. There's heavy emphasis on the kick and the snare, more electric guitars, less fiddles and less pedal steels, unless you're talking about Jon Pardi, who is bringing it all back. The vocals of this time are slowly fading away from that traditional distinctive country sound that I really like. It's a little bit more produced to fit into the overproducedness of the tracks that are being made. And then this list is also primarily male, which is so sad because there are so many great artists that are emerging this time. Maddie and Tay, Casey Musgraves. I mean, Carrie Underwood's always a classic. All of these female artists have such amazing content to be shared with the world that people are not listening to them regularly is so sad. Ignore the hair change because now we're going to talk about composition and arrangement. The complexity in layering is not very 90s or even 2010s. It's not that thought out, I don't believe. It kind of is just a formula. They're all starting to sound the same, like I said, except for Jon Pardi. Love you, Jon Pardi. But everything is starting to sound very similar, like it's going through a machine. The lyrics aren't particularly stand out. Everything's very like mid-tempo, kind of ballady. But, you know, this is the transition where things start to move into like a very poppy sound for country music. Now let's take a look at what was popular last year in 2019. Now this is probably closer to like what we're listening to now, as a lot of times last year's end of the year trends fall into the next year when it comes to music, so we're probably all listening to it right now, or they've all been overplayed on the radio and so none of us want to listen to them again. Who's to say? Let's jump into it. I'm preparing to graduate for college. I am now a graduate from college with my music industry degree. And now I have nothing to go to. So I started a YouTube channel where I could review songs from 2019. Let's do it. First on the list is Whiskey Glasses by Morgan Wallen.
I'ma need some whiskey glasses, 'cause I don't wanna say the truth.
I really like Morgan Wallen. I think that his music is unique. I know people say unique as like, I don't like it, I don't hate it. But I really do. I think a lot of it's hit or miss for me. I like his voice. I think it plays well into country music. He was on The Voice, and I remember his songs that he sang on The Voice, and I don't think he sang a ton of country songs on The Voice. But I think what he's doing right now in country music is really interesting, and I can't wait to see what else he does. But Whiskey Glasses was definitely a song that I listened to quite a bit in 2019. Second on this list is Speechless by Dan and Shay.
I'm speechless, staring at you standing there.
Now, I'm gonna be the person to say this, but I don't think Dan and Shay are country anymore. They have fully crossed over to pop, and I think that their last album is all pop. However, I love it. I think it's wonderful. I think the harmonies are really great between the two. It's an album that I listen to all summer, literally all summer. I would drive to work and I would put it on and I would jam out. But I don't think it's country. Number 3 on this list is God's Country by Blake Shelton.
The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country.
Blake Shelton, when I first came across him when he was starting on The Voice, was this kind of big old goofball, country goofball, and he was singing about, you know, love and kind of like cute things, and he was sweet. He was a sweet country singer. You know, I've listened to more of his stuff and seen the complexity of what he's capable of doing, but this song really brought a lot of edge to his sound. He has a lot of gravel in his voice and that kind of bite that really brought this song to life, and I think it showed off his voice really well. I did get sick of it eventually because it played on the radio all the time, but I really enjoyed it when it first came out, and I think that it was a nice spice to add to all of the pop country that was coming out in 2019. Number 4 on this list is Beautiful Crazy that is bringing back classical traditional country music from the 90s at least. Luke Combs is mashing together traditional 90s country arrangement with modern day production. And I think that turns regular stadium country that we had in the 90s to super mega stadium country that we have now. And I think there's a lot of artists trying to do that, but Luke Combs is successfully doing it. And I think that a lot of his songs are really awesome, but his biggest downfall is that he releases all of his really good songs, and then there's like 4 new songs, and they all sound like the rest of them. But we can get into Luke Combs in a different video. But as I stand, Luke Combs is really awesome, and I think he's doing a great job making super mega stadium country. 5th on this list is also Luke Combs, Beer Never Broke My Heart. I really like this song, but I already talked about Luke Combs and told you what I think about him. Let's jump to the 6th one on this list because I think it's notable. The 6th song on 2019's Top 100 Billboard list was The Get Up by Blanco Brown.
Gonna do the 2-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him.
Now I get it. I understand why you like it. However, I think that it is a hip-hop / R&B song that has country influences and should not be on the country chart because that is taking away from somebody who is actually making country music. I don't think it's a subgenre. And I do think that there are subgenres of country, hip-hop, R&B, and rap, but I don't think this qualifies as that subgenre. I think it is hip-hop, R&B, and rap with a hint of country. But I think it's interesting that it made it on the country charts, and I think that says a lot about where country music is going. So we just have to see what happens next. In 2020, who the heck knows what's happening ever? As far as composition and arrangement go, they really focus on that heavy backbeat, kick and snare, electric guitars, and that hip-hop kind of rhythm that's pretty new relative to the history of the last 10 years. Vocally, I think a lot of the vocals are pop produced, but I do think that it's going 2 ways. I think it's splitting. I think the popular country genre that everyone listens to is now splitting into 2 subgenres, which is pop country and / boyfriend country, and then neo-traditional, more raw country. And I think you can see the 2 directions it's splitting into with the artists on this list. Dan and Shay are so far on the pop spectrum, and then Blake Shelton is so far on that traditional spectrum, and then Luke Combs and Morgan Wallen kind of sit nice and neat in the middle, not straddling too far to one side or too far to the other. But there are extremes, and then there are some in the middle, and I think that stuff in the middle is really good. And I also have a more traditional taste, so Blake Shelton's also really good too. And I like pop, so I like Dan and Shay. I like all of it except for the Get Up. I'm not a huge fan. A lot of this stuff is mid-tempo, and some of it has cleverly written lyrics, but I would say that basically that a lot of them are pretty dulled down. There's not a lot of complexity in any of the songs that I'm hearing. It's just a lot of sound and a lot of production. My final thoughts are that things are changing, and we can't just stay in the past, even though I want to. I can't hold on to that forever, because it is changing. From 1998 to 2019, so much has changed in the way music is made, not just country music. New advances to the recording software, new recording equipment has come out. Things are changing, and it doesn't seem like it's slowing down. But I wish country music would become slightly more organic. Things used to be simpler production-wise. That way, it left a lot of room for complex arrangement that I really enjoyed. I love texture in a song, and it seems these days a lot of country music is a wall of sound type situation. The characteristics that I liked from 1998 were that fiddle and the texture and the complexity of arrangement. I thought they were awesome, and I love that sound. From 2010, I liked the bigger production mixed with the older arranging style. I thought that brought something new to the table. And then in 2016, it went a little too far, and then in 2019, I like that it's going back towards a traditional route. Or at least some of them are. But I do like pop country. I don't like pop country. I just like pop. Dan and Shay, you're pop now. I'm sorry. There are a few songs in this video that I have now added to my favorites list, and you can go down and check them out. There's also a few links to my social media. You guys can go check all of those out. Give me more suggestions so I can make my favorites list longer, because right now it's a lot of old stuff that I listen to regularly that you probably already know, but I want to add new stuff that I've never heard before. So if you have any suggestions, please leave them down in the comments below. I will go and listen to all of them. That's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I know this is brand new and I'm still learning. I had to refilm this whole video because I was out of focus and it was focusing on my dog. I really appreciate everyone who's watching it. I'm doing this a lot because I miss the conversation I used to have with my friends about country music and my really opinionated opinions. I would get feedback from my friends that also like country music telling me, "Cool it, Sarah, like, you're such an elitist," which I am. Like, I really idolize that older country sound, so I'm trying to expand my horizons. But thank you guys for watching. If you like this content, if you want to see more, if you have any suggestions, please let me know. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you get notifications for all of my new videos. I plan on posting every Sunday. If you like it, please hit the like button. It helps me see what you guys like. And if you didn't, hit the dislike button. I want to keep content that I like, but also that you guys will enjoy watching too. And don't forget, what was the #1 country song the year you were born? Put it down in the comments. I want to see. I want to make a playlist of all of those things. I'm obsessed with making playlists and listening to new songs. I think that's it. Remington, do you have anything to say? Hey. Hello. He's very asleep. He thinks this is his bed when it's actually mine. All right. That's it from me. I'll see you next week with a new video. Bye!